Shirley had been having chest pains and feeling weak and foggy for some time. She rarely went to the doctor, but when the aches and pains did not go, she decided to get checked out. What followed was a barrage of tests that revealed Shirley had stage 4 cancer. It was untreatable, and she was given a prognosis of only 90 days to live. For Shirley's husband, Mark, the questions began racing through his mind. This is the story of Shirley Williams and her victory over stage 4 cancer. No one wants to get the kind of phone call Shirley Williams got from her doctor. She said, "Shirley, you are eating up with cancer. You have cancer not only in your breast, but it's metastasized into your bones, your organs, and your lymph nodes." Shirley, continuing through the tears, thought, "How could this be? God, I've served you all my life. I don't understand. Why?" Her husband candidly shares, "What if Shirley died? What about the kids? Where am I going to be? What am I going to do? And I'm going, this can't be." I needed scriptures because that was the only place I could dig where I could find encouragement. And I told her, "Shirley, whose report are we going to believe? God's word says we shall live and not die. And Shirley, it also says that no weapon formed against us will prosper, and that by his stripes we are healed." In the days that followed, however, Shirley's pains kept getting worse. Shirley admits, "I could barely walk. My left hip was hurting so bad. The tumor in my right breast was about half the size of a fist. There were thoughts that crossed my mind that it could be easier to just lay down and die." But Shirley refused to give in to fear. Instead, she and Mark decided to live by faith and speak not a single word of doubt. She says with hope, "I never found one place in the scriptures where someone came to Jesus for healing and they were not healed. I began to see that faith was not just believing that God was able, but it was believing that He will." So she sought God for direction. And Shirley says, one night she woke up from a deep sleep and saw Jesus at the foot of her bed. She vividly recalls, "And as I saw him, I saw compassion, I saw love, I saw hope. I began to feel sweat behind my right knee. It was so unusual, and I looked at him and said, 'Lord, are you telling me to sweat?' And then she woke up. 3 days later, Shirley got her answer when she went to see a new oncologist named Dr. Oliver. He remembers, "I told her to pray for a miracle." And then Shirley adds, "He told me, 'Shirley, I've got a word for you before you leave. You need to sweat.'" This was the word from Dr. Oliver. The same experience Shirley had in a dream with Jesus 3 days ago. And then she started an intense sweat therapy, including detox, saunas, and lots of exercise. She also went on a strict organic diet. Meanwhile, her friends and her church family fasted and prayed for supernatural healing, and her husband Mark prayed and laid hands on her regularly. Mark exclaims, "Jesus said, 'You shall lay hands on the sick in my name and they shall recover.'" Mark 16:18. And so I did just that by sheer faith. I commanded the pain in Shirley's body to cease. Then 3 weeks after learning she had cancer, Shirley had a dream again. She was standing behind a glass window. Coming straight at her was an overload out of a semi-truck. Shirley recounts, "I just began to cry out, 'Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.' And as I did, I remember seeing this truck coming, and then all of a sudden," she continues with a clap, "it tapped the glass right in front of me, and the Spirit of the Lord spoke to me and He said, 'That's the cancer that I just stopped.'" For the next 2 months, Shirley continued with treatment, also her confessions, believing that God was healing her. Soon, the good days were outweighing the bad days. And when she went in for her 90-day checkup, she finally got the news she had been praying for. Dr. Oliver says, The PET scan showed that the tumor was gone, and at least there was no evidence that there was cancer in her body. I believe that when a person has stage 4 cancer and the cancer is gone, then it's a miracle. I was jumping excited, twirling, thanking God, just thanking God that He is a restorer, Shirley joyfully exclaims. Her husband Mark adds, I felt free on the inside, free to plan again, free to know that God was including Shirley and I together for the rest of our days here on earth. Since that August in 2012, Shirley had no sign of cancer. She shares, it's been amazing to know that there is true life and there really is freedom from sickness and diseases. There really is freedom from pain. Shirley and her husband Mark give all the credit to Jesus Christ. She says, I've been healed today because I believed His word and I took it, and it had to become part of every cell of my being. She concludes, God is no respecter of persons. What He did for me, He can do for others as well. Have a lovely day.